free. The man's gunning for me. Blue and white me more tonight. See, damn my pride and canceling down each side. Tonight there's no place to hide.
Good evening and welcome to Up Late and Down with ASP. I'm your host, Chris Cucci. Tonight we have a fantastic show lined up for you. From a cracked out puppet to an up and coming musician, it is quite possible that our show tonight will blow your minds. But to get things started, we're going to take a look at some headlines of the day. I'll be honest, the headlines for today are really only going to be about two women, two tremendous women. And to start things off, there's no way that I couldn't have my first headline be about the train wreck of a human being, Miss Britney Spears. It was obvious that all the news coverage of the Anna Nicole Smith death had a tragic impact on Britney's ego, and ultimately on her golden locks, which were sometimes brown. And I think she went black once. And then, no, it was black and then brown. Either way, Britney once again shocked the world by buzzing all of the hair off of her head. I'll admit it, once upon a time, I had a crush on Britney Spears. And when I heard the news about the haircutting incident, I quickly prayed for a Natalie Portman outcome. Maybe even a Sinead O'Connor. But alas, no dice. We unfortunately got a Patrick Stewart outcome. He's the bald guy from Star Trek and the X-Men movies, for you non-nerds out there. Although, now that I think about it, he might even be prettier than Britney Spears is right now. Anyway, moving on. Well, not quite moving on. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, no pun intended, but this whole Anna Nicole Smith thing has really gotten out of hand. I'm not sure if it's too late to do this, but I feel it's very important to also throw my hat in the ring and say that I, Chris Cucci, am the father of Anna's baby. Well, our baby, Terry Lynn. Danny Lynn. It's Danny Lynn. What a weird name. I hope this doesn't confuse things even more, but quite honestly, I have a couple cable bills to pay, and I figured it's worth a shot. Papa's coming for you, Danny Lynn. And now that I have the Anna Nicole joke out of the way, I'd like to again shift our attentions back to this Britney Spears scandal. I don't want to make it seem like I've overthought this, but for those of you who don't know, Britney also got a new tattoo after she shaved her head. However, she didn't get the tattoo in what I thought was the obvious place. I wish she got it on her hip or someplace like that. But I ask, Britney, if you're going to get a tattoo after you shave your head, why don't you get the tattoo on your freshly shaved head? When else do you have the opportunity to get a sweet head tattoo? Better believe that if I ever shave my head, the first thing I would do is go to my nearest tattoo parlor and get a sweet tattoo on my dome. In fact, I already planned it. I'm thinking something along the lines like, this is where my hair used to be, tattooed on the top of my head. Of course, I would pick a fancy font and put some sort of Celtic symbol, in the design, like every tattoo you see. But anyways, that's it for the headlines of the day. Coming up after our break, we'll sit down and talk to our guests, Petey the Parrot and his puppeteer, Kevin Harrington. We'll be right back.
They came searching for treasure. They didn't know the greatest riches were the rainforests themselves. Worth much more than gold, rainforests help protect life on our planet. That's why people are working to save them. You can learn more through the Arbor Day Foundation's Rainforest Rescue Program. You can go to the Arbor Day Foundation website, arborday.org, and check out Rainforest Rescue. It helps protect rainforests more precious than gold.
Maybe Daddy can play next week.
Daddy doesn't work. Daddy doesn't get paid.
People like Daddy's work so much, they pay him for it.
What's this?
Can I buy some of your time?
No, you can't. For you, it's free. Come on.
Really?
Spend something on your family that shows them what they're worth. Spend your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Maybe Daddy can play next week.
Daddy doesn't work. Daddy doesn't get paid.
People like Daddy's work so much, they pay him for it.
What's this?
Can I buy some of your time?
No, you can't. For you, it's free. Come on.
Really? Really?
Spend something on your family that shows them what they're worth. Spend your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Today we are joined by our guest, Petey the Parrot. Petey has lived a life like many celebrities that reach fame at an early age. As a young puppet, he could be seen on such great ICTV shows like The Gumdrop Shop and, well, I guess it was just that one show. But after the initial fame and glory subsided, like many puppets of his time, he slipped into a dry spell and found it difficult to find any kind of work. As you would suspect, Petey turned to drugs and alcohol to kill his pain. Petey's here today to promote his new True Hollywood story that will be airing next week. The show will detail his time in the spotlight and his fall from fame. And I'm sure we will get to hear all about that today. Please welcome Petey the Parrot and his puppeteer, Kevin Harrington.
Hi there, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing... Nice to meet you, Petey. So, Kevin, how are you doing today?
I think you should ask Petey how he feels about that. How I feel.
Okay. So, I guess, Petey, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. Absolutely fantastic. I tell you, I've started doing Pilates recently, and oh boy, it's so much fun. I can't believe it.
Interesting. Pilates as a puppet. That's fantastic. So, Kevin, tell me, what have you been working on recently, you and Petey? Petey, what have you been working on recently?
Well, let's see. There is, of course, the True Hollywood story, but I did lend my voice to the latest CGI animated cartoon produced by Disney/Pixar/DreamWorks. It's about a robot who lives underneath the sea with cars and bugs.
Sounds like that's going to be another hit for you,
Well, it
Petey.
sure will, you know. But I mean, I wanted it to be pirate-themed, but, you know, the whole Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I did once do a straight-to-DVD release called 15 Birds on a Dead Man's Chest, and oh boy, that was some rollicking pirate fun, for sure.
That's very interesting. Okay. So, Kevin.
Petey, excuse yourself. You just interrupted Chris.
It's okay.
Please excuse it.
I sure am sorry, Chris.
It's quite all right, Petey. So, Kevin, my question for you is, you know, you and Petey, you reached fame at such an early stage in the career. What was that like? What was it like to be such a big hit at such an early age, I guess you could say?
I don't know.
I sure do, though. I remember, wow, the first time I got my own show, it was like I walked in and I saw everyone milling about with papers and coffee, and I was just starstruck.
That was the Gumdrop Shop, right?
It sure was. Oh, man. Every day we would get all psyched for the show, and then by the time it ended, it was like it ended too soon. We were a big, happy family that sometimes went out in the back lot and snorted lines.
Okay. Well, you know, I think that's a perfect segue into taking a look at the preview for your True Hollywood story that's going to be airing next week.
Oh, it sure
What do you
is.
think? So I guess let's take a look and see how this goes.
This is an True Hollywood story. The year is 1987 and the show is The Gumdrop Shop, featuring Mr. Brubaker, Bobby, Sally, and the show's star, Captain Mango aka Petey the Parrot. But after the show became the #1 children's program on television, Petey the Parrot began to change. Petey developed an alcohol problem and resorted to such drugs as ecstasy and cocaine. But still, the show continued.
A wonderful adventure. I also have a wonderful adventure I want to share with you.
Petey's problem got a lot worse as he always snorted coke with his other buddies, before shows, after shows, and during all of his free time. Producers in the cast grew tired of Petey's behavior and strung out ways, and the show was canceled. No one knows what the future holds for this one former star, but the question is, can he make a comeback?
Wow, that was quite interesting.
It's a bit much to take. I know my target audience at the time of the show probably couldn't handle all that content, but
It's true.
it was a bit fictionalized, I think. They exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed the voiceover guys changed in True Hollywood Story also.
Yeah, I don't know about that guy that much. I don't think he's SAG. He sounds like an amateur.
Interesting. Well, Petey, I let's get into what you're actually here. Today you're going to be showing us the versatility of Petey the Parrot. So to do that, you brought some clothes. I'm assuming that these items over here are what we're going to use to dress you up. Can you explain what?
Yeah, the first one we got here is a nice pink striped tie.
A pink tie?
Yeah,
Interesting.
exactly. Well, you know.
So you put this on Petey?
Yep, put it right on.
Okay, you want me to do it? Okay. Well, it's very.
And as you can see, it demonstrates the ability to be formal and you know, I could be the kind of George Clooney in Ocean's 14 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think they would ever take a puppet for that, though, right?
No, they probably wouldn't. I mean, if a puppet can't make out with Julia Roberts, they probably.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, anyway, so much for the tie.
So what's next over here in your?
The second one we got is my favorite.
This looks interesting.
Nice warm hunting hat with some ear laps on it.
Okay, so
right on top there.
I don't see the point in all this. It still looks like a parrot that's dressed like a pirate.
Well, see, the thing is, I could do a whole sorts of different regional things, with the Minnesota accent from Fargo. Oh yeah, don't you know? Yeah, ahoy there, matey, and also certain areas I'd like to hunt frequently on their ATVs and their snowmobiles.
Really?
And
So
let's go game hunting for some deer.
You'd think a movie would need a parrot to do those type of activities.
Well, I think because I'm so brightly colored, I'd be much more interesting to pay attention than, say, a true hunter like Ted Nugent.
I can't agree more. So how about we have one more? Let's do one more over here. I think this looks very interesting. I can't even imagine what this. It's a bandana, so this goes on the head. I'm assuming.
Right on top.
Okay, so something like that, I guess.
Well, inspired by 8 Mile and Get Rich or Die Trying, I decided to go the thug life and sporting my blood colors and that whole thing.
See, I think this actually looks more like a pirate because it's wearing like the pirate bandana. Wouldn't you think?
Well, no pirates actually wear bandanas, and I could go for a cowboy too, possibly.
Great. Well, Kevin, this has been absolutely fascinating. I hate to cut it short like this, but I guess this would be the great time. I'd like to just thank Kevin for stopping by, and I wish you the best of luck with the True Hollywood Story and the rest of your career.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, so stick with us. Right after this, we have a little music by Dave Morgan.
Bye, folks. See you later.
You've dreamed of its graceful agility, its aerodynamic ride, and unbridled spirit. You've longed for its precise handling and untapped power. Yes, few things in life say more about you than the car you drive.
Spend something on your family that shows them what they're worth. Spend your time from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Hey, Dad, when are we gonna go camping again?
We will sometime, but not now. I'm busy.
I know, but you always say that.
We will sometime, just not now.
Well, at least come to the camper and see what I'm doing. I'm almost finished.
Just a minute.
Dad, come on.
What does it take to get you back into the lives of your family?
Hey, who put all this stuff in here?
Sure glad you could make it, Dad.
Give them everything. Give them your time.
You do have a choice. The lake or the river.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Blue and white me war tonight. See, damn my pride and all the cats coming down east side.
And welcome back. With us today, we have musician Dave Morgan. He'll play us a couple songs from his new album, Little People. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Morgan.
It's a dank place. It's It's a sorry place, oh yes it is. What will you find? The watchman sees all. Tensions rise. Hope falls. It's all in the book. The watchman sees all. Lights cascade on the Persian floor. Numbers clear upon every door. Whoa, did you lose yourself? Got nothing to give. Walls breathe. Forget, don't forgive. Strangers come, strangers leave. No friends for the watchman, nothing worthwhile to see. 5 o'clock, the shadow falls across the hall. The watchman calls. Lonely days, endless nights. Barman's gone, and the watchman fights. He fights. Whoa, watchman, what you gonna do? When the barman's after you, what you gonna do?
Dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You set your goal.
Now you need money to make it happen.
Get the money to pay for college in the Army National Guard.
Visit us at www.1800GoGuard.com.
More than half of the Earth's rainforests have been destroyed. The time to act is now. Go to the Arbor Day Foundation's website, arborday.org, and support rainforest rescue to protect the forests more precious than gold.
We walk to the park sometimes, my whole family. We get to feed the fish. And we play like monkeys. Dad plays the hardest, so he gets the most tired. We always say goodbye to the fish last. I think that makes them feel good.
Family, isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And welcome back. We're sitting here with Dave Morgan. You just heard The Watchman, which is off his debut CD, Little People. Dave, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
So I guess to start, what's the name of your band?
My band's name is Paloma, which actually in Spanish means dove. We are formerly the Rhetorical Pigeons, so pigeons,
Very interesting.
dove.
You know, we just had a parrot on the show earlier.
I know. I had a chance to talk with him backstage.
Really?
Yeah.
So, all right. So Paloma, how long has Paloma been together?
Well, me and the bassist and the guitarist have been together since about 8th grade. Middle school, we were brought together by our love for the Beatles. Probably is the biggest reason why we're together. And then our lead singer joined in our junior year of high school.
Very cool. So, how long have you been playing the guitar?
I've been playing the guitar for about 4 years now.
Okay. Is this something you taught yourself, or did you have an instructor?
My dad taught me the basic chords, you know, G, E, A, D, all that stuff. And then basically I took the basic knowledge and moved on using, you know, by listening to songs and just kind of picking things out with my ear. So mostly I taught myself, but I got started with my dad.
Cool. So your dad started you. Is he an influence for you? Does he play the guitar, or?
He does, and he is an influence for me.
Cool. What other influences do you have? Do you have any?
Well, as I stated before, the Beatles. Lately, I've been really into R&B and soul and funk music. Victor Wooten is a big influence on me. He plays bass guitar. Also, other bands, REM, Radiohead, anything from the classic rock era, but also jazz is also a big thing for me.
Cool. So you're a student here at Ithaca College, and so your band's at home. Do you have a band that you're working with here, or are you more work solo here?
No, usually I just kind of mess around solo here, but I have worked with people. Last semester I actually played drums for a production at Cornell,
cool.
Put on by the Melodramatics Company. So.
Cool. So while you're at Ithaca, do you do any shows, or is this strictly just for fun, to relax, you play the guitar and sing?
Yeah, I just chill out in my dorm room and play the guitar.
Very cool. So the first song we heard was The Watchman, and that's off of this debut CD. Explain some more about this debut CD. What kind of music? Is it all the same kind of music, or?
I would describe it as kind of like a mutt album. It's you can't really put your finger on what kind of genre it is. It's a mix of a whole bunch of different things. There's a lot of jazz, there's a lot of funk, there's a lot of folk as well, and there's some, I guess, reggae in one song at least. And there's a lot of vocal improvisation. For example, on the album, The Watchman, the song I just played, definitely there's some vocal scatting and beatboxing.
Very cool. So I recommend everyone go out there, try to get this CD. It's very good. And what song are you playing next? What's coming up?
Rain in Maine.
Very good. Dave Morgan, ladies and gentlemen.
Mudstained veil and a teary face, incomprehensibly out of place. A daytime of nightmares, a dash to the door, burdened by all, she falls to the floor. Who would have thunk such a terrible scene? Symbiotic was the way it was supposed to be. Her dreams were shattered, things turned out for the worst. Natural selection didn't run its course. Rain in Maine, rain in Maine, rain in Maine, rain in Maine. Seated on each side, two families in one. Unknown to them, the damage was done. The priest was sweating and the groom was in tears, a culmination of all of her fears. Rain in Maine, rain in Maine, rain in Maine, rain in Maine. Some moppy standards would have lightened the air, but no, that's absurd. She just didn't seem to care if she hadn't ruined us right from the start. First she broke our lives, so then we broke her heart. Rain in Maine, rain in Maine, rain in Maine, rain in Maine.
As chair of the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee, I've got good news. New York State's roadways are the safest they've ever been, but they can be safer if everyone would just buckle up.
Seatbelts can make the difference between life and death.
I've seen people walk away because they wore their seatbelt, and I've seen people die because they didn't.
It breaks your heart because you know it could have been prevented.
We're here to save lives.
So think of it as tough love.
Please, wear your seatbelt.
Hey, because in New York State, if you don't click it, you're going to get a ticket.
Dessert, ladies. Ooh. Ooh, there's only 3. These look good. Oh, you didn't get one. Here. I have both.
Sharing, it's the icing on the cake. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Daddy. Daddy used to go to make a hang house, and I woke up,
What?
10 in the morning, it's the morning.
Are you sure you don't want Mom to go?
Daddy can stay as long as we want. It's Saturday, and Saturday's for men like us.
Family. Isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Down east side. Tonight there's no place to hide.
Welcome back. I would like to thank our guests that were on the show tonight. Thanks to Petey the Parrot and his puppeteer Kevin Harrington. And also a huge thanks goes out to Dave Morgan, who played us a couple of his original songs from his album, Little People. Make sure you join us next time, because if our next show is anything like the show you just watched, I'm sure you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching UpLate and Down with ASP. I'm Chris Cucci. Have a good night.
Summer 43, the man's gunning for me. Blue and white, me war tonight. See, damn my pride and all the cats coming down east side. Tonight there's no place to hide.